接着也连到一起。 但是这个 fragile 爸爸怎么做的？
Right. Okay. We good?
Oh, good, good.
All right.
has called your name out in the prairies. The sunlight shades, but what remains is the shade of you. I gotta hold on. The memories are here, but you are gone. You say we're through. It's true, me and you. Your painful words distract the view. Don't you feel it too? In the search for you, I'll pursue. Maybe I can make a change and feel like I do. I've been trying to forget your smile, our secrets, and your quirky style. The love that you surrender is the only thing I remember. Like a fever, those places where you try to hide. I promise I will try to find. I gotta hold on. Memories are near, but you are gone. You say we're through. It's true, me and you. Your painful words distract the view. Don't you feel it too? In the search for you, I awake. Hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. All the good times just begun. We know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright. You and I, we got it. We don't need no more. Even in the hard times, I can weather any storm. Before we sleep, hear the crickets, see the moon. Side by side and through. No limit to what we can do. Oh, we know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right.
나게사. 나게사. 도넛. 도넛.